Michigan Magazine is kept on the road by our many Michigan friends. Cops and Donuts Bakery, downtown Clare, a winning combination. Cops and Donuts. Your northern experience is never complete without a stop at the historic Ma Dieter's of Luzerne. Enjoy the ambiance inside or outside on the huge patio area. Order from the complete menu with entrees served hot, fresh, and good. Come experience Ma Dieter's in the heart of God's country, Luzerne, Michigan. Introducing the Weed Gator. For safe and easy aquatic weed removal, the Weed Gator is the #1 alternative to harsh chemicals for getting rid of pond and lake weeds. Safe and effective. See it in action now at weedgator.net. Made in the USA. On this week's Michigan Magazine, we're going to prove to you how eating healthy can become a bit easier thanks to a couple of Michigan ladies and their vegetarian line of easy mixes called the Vegetarian Express. But first, we're going to show you how one Saugatuck lady becomes one with the wood, an amazing wood manipulator whose fine art is garnering a loyal following. We visit with Marcia Perry in her studio called the ARK. It's all coming up on Michigan Magazine. Cops and Donuts Bakery, downtown Clare, what began as a crazy idea among 9 police officers to purchase the historic Clare City Bakery quickly became an international phenomenon, carrying on a Michigan tradition with delicious donuts, pies, pastries, breads, original coffee, and more, plus a full menu at the new adjacent traffic stop diner. Downtown Clare, a winning combination. Cops and Donuts. Clemix Sales and Service on Mapes Road, west of Mile, your complete recreational vehicle sales and service connection. Visit their beautiful showroom of new and pre-owned ATVs, lawnmowers, power equipment, snowmobiles, utility vehicles, and more. Clemix Sales and Service is also the home of the American-made Victory motorcycle line on display at Clemix on Mapes Road, Mile. Rose Valley Winery on Beechwood Road in Rose City. See what thousands are raving about, creating a delicious variety of award-winning Michigan wines. Stop by and taste for yourself. The taste of Michigan is yours at Rose Valley Winery. The beauty of a tree is obvious to those who simply take the time to observe its physical presence. Its natural beauty can at the same time be soothing to some and inspiring to others. But now, with the assistance of sculptor Marcia Perry of Saugatuck at her studio and gallery called the ARK, there's even more beauty being discovered deep inside the tree. Marcia has worked many mediums in her lifetime, but the tree is what summons her creativity and speaks to her soul.
I am by heart committed to trees.
Okay, trees is in your soul, the
yes,
spirit, yeah. Why is that?
Well, I grew up in Michigan, in the North Woods, very close, and I've always just felt a very strong spiritual presence from trees. And when it came time in my midlife to sort of decide where my real vocation was, it was with the trees, and by probing into their very sort of hearts, I try to let other people see what incredible wisdom and strength and great virtue there is to be drawn upon, that we all can sort of draw on that same source. But I find the lessons communicate through trees, and their beauty to me is just astounding.
And the artwork that comes out from the trees is something you were telling me that you really don't see until you get into the tree, and it comes out as you progress. So tell us a little bit about that. That's kind of neat.
My process is totally intuitive in that I might sort of like a piece of wood, find it interesting, but I don't know what shape it will take when I work on it. And I just begin working, and just little by little taking layer by layer away and following the lines of grain and just sort of the tug of instinct. I pull out whatever forms seem to me to be within the tree. It can be expressed in a lot of ways. It's a very strong feeling, but it doesn't really relate to sort of everyday experience necessarily. In that I just know I have to take this away or not take that away, and it seems to me that I'm being shown, that I'm being, sort of told where to go, though not in words. And so I follow, and I am sometimes absolutely astounded to see what is revealed inside of a tree. I mean, I just marvel at what's there. And I myself am actually very drawn to abstract forms and animal forms too. But oftentimes the the work is figurative, and it takes on a human shape, which at first quite terrified me because I had no background in doing anything with a human figure. I'd never even been interested in drawing people. I mean, it just was the last thing, and suddenly it was like, this tree wants to be a woman. Oh dear, I've got to figure out how we're put together to have some sense of what's going on. As it happened, it didn't really require a great deal, except just kind of paying attention. And
communication between the tree itself and
it feels that way.
Almost like a Dr. Dolittle of botany, almost just.
Well, it's funny you should mention Dr. Dolittle. He was my childhood idol. That is who I had hoped to be. I thought I would probably be working with dolphins.
Well, perhaps there's a tree out there that has a dolphin inside.
I'm waiting. Yeah, I think that could be.
What do you look for when you see just the raw wood, or how do you pick it? How do you decide that there's something in there? What's the process of finding just the right piece?
Well, the wood comes to me in many different ways. First of all, I only work recycled wood. I mean, trees that have already been cut down for one reason or another. I think it's horrible to cut down a tree. They give so much to us as living things. But once they're down, all I can do is kind of try and bring them back to life in my own way. And I take the greatest delight because they give me the most clues in crotches and stumps and the trees that have been infected with funguses and blighted and grown oddly, so that they take on a very unique and individual character. And then that gives me a place to start easily, and I can probe to see what else I might find. So I use what other people, I mean, really have no use for, the stuff that, you can't even chop up easily for firewood. And it's sort of, I don't know, I suppose there's some sort of contrariness about it, that there's beauty in everything. There's really nothing that deserves to be thrown away. It just is used in some other way by perhaps some other, creature, whether it's a microorganism or a worm or a human. I try very hard when I'm working not to become attached to any image that I might have in my head. So, because if I do that, then I'm imposing my will instead of trying to reveal what the tree itself has within it to show. So there are times, though, when definitely I might start out with and just say, oh, I would like to do a dog, and start out, and then it always takes its own shape. I remember one time I wanted to do a kind of I wanted it to be a very archaic, religious, solemn figure that had a lot of power, like the primitive art forms. And I took this little piece, and that piece would be nothing but cute. It was, I mean, it refused to have that sort of primal, serious power to it. It just was the cutest little Yoda guy you ever want to see. And you have to go with that. I mean, I do. I feel, it's like, it wants to be that, that's what it will be. And because I think, we know ourselves best. And the trees, too, know themselves best. And if we listen, and the result will be really what's supposed to be there.
Did you find this calling that you're at right now in your childhood, or was it a complete opposite of the way you grew up and the lifestyle you led to the point you're at today? Did you have to take different avenues that came into or did you have a straight arrow that you saw that you wanted to do something like this eventually?
It was not a straight and narrow, no. It was, I guess I would have to say my life was a pretty convoluted process of trying to figure out what it was I was supposed to do, although I always had a sense that there was something special I needed to do, something unusual. And I tried a lot of different career vocations, and I was fortunate to be proficient at many things. So I would try them, and none of them made me particularly unhappy, but none of them quite struck that heart string that I think is so essential to really, follow your own calling. I liked the process. I liked hearing the sound of that blade scrunching through the walnut, and the smell, and everything about it.
Marcia Perry had found her niche, her calling, so to say, and to many of those that purchase her pieces, they're thankful she's doing what she's doing, revealing the true hearts of Michigan's native trees, exposing forms and figures of true beauty by letting them the trees speak for themselves from within. Our visit that day at the ARK was most enjoyable and truly enlightening. To a person like me who's quite naive as to the possibilities of the abstract, Marcia was kind enough to explain and share her world with us. For that, we're grateful. It truly is a recommended stop out in the Saugatuck area. The sculpting of Marcia Perry at the ARK. Michigan Magazine is being brought to you in part by Misty of Sweet Misty Sweets in Luzerne is waiting for you with delicious banana splits and other ice cream goodies and fresh coffee, donuts, pastries, humongous, and Dunkin' cookies. All sizes of cakes. Planning a wedding? Call Misty. Creating smiles daily and for a lifetime. Sweet Misty Sweets, north of the light in Luzerne. Hale Hardware, your do-it center in Hale, Michigan. Much more than a regular hardware store, providing everything you need for whatever your project is, along with a knowledgeable sales staff to get her done. Serving northern Michigan since 1946. Hale Hardware, south of M65 at Ainsley in Hale. The Michigan-made rebounding mailbox pole. Never again worry about the winter snowplow taking out your mailbox with this ingenious rebounding pole. Your mailbox takes a hit and keeps coming back year after year. Call now or visit their website, toughmailboxes.com.
I'm getting excited, and I'll tell you why. We've got with us Connie and Lori, Connie Vale and Lori Snyman. And what are we going to do today? We're here at the museum, at the Michigan Magazine Museum, and you guys are here. Why are you guys here?
Well, we want to show Michigan about our food because we have a wonderful food line that we'd like people to know about.
Food. I eat a lot of food. What kind of food are we talking about?
Good food.
Good food.
Healthy food.
Healthy food. That's a good one.
No McMichigan food.
The vegetarian the Vegetarian Express. Is that right?
That's correct.
Can you tell us a little bit about Vegetarian Express?
Well, we have 15 foods. We have 8 seasonings. We have a number of soups and waffles, cookies, and
And a macaroni dinner.
And a macaroni dinner.
Sicilian macaroni dinner. And most of them are dry mixes where you add water or some ingredients and you have a healthy food.
All right. Now it's called the Vegetarian Express, right?
That's right.
No, none of our foods had a mother.
They never. I'm going to work on that one. Let me write that down.
Mm-hmm. Or a face.
Okay. Now, you'd call it the Vegetarian Express. There's vegetarians. There's just all kinds of different things. They call them vegans, vegetarians. Can you straighten us out?
Well, I don't know if we can straighten you out, but we'll try.
A lot of people who try it.
Vegetarian means no meat, and vegan means no dairy of any kind, and our food is no dairy.
All right.
Or animal products. No eggs, no honey, no animal products.
It can't taste that great.
Oh, but it does.
It does.
We
I know.
test our food all across Michigan when we're ready to do a new product, and if it doesn't really get people excited about it, then we don't launch it.
All right. Well,
And we launch all the time, by the way.
Yeah, oh, every day, huh?
More are coming.
All right. Well, I understand that your product or your organization or your company is called the Vegetarian Express, as opposed to Vegetarian Express.
That's
so if
correct.
they look it up on the net or on the internet, they're going to have to look up the Vegetarian
That's
Express.
correct.
That's right. Use that THE because
All
there's
right.
lots of copycats out there.
All right. Well, I've got to ask you why you guys started doing this. Why? What was the impetus for this?
Connie, why did we do this?
Why? And why
We're
are you
not
still
sure
doing it?
sometimes, but it all began at the Super Bowl party, actually.
Ah.
We have taste sampling at our parties, and we try to outcook each other. And we said, this is too much work. We need an easier way to cook healthy.
Ah.
And I went through a real healthy program, and I felt like I was spending so much time in my kitchen. I was dicing and cooking. I was trying to find all the ingredients in the health food stores, and I felt like I was making my kitchen my God. I was spending hours. And so when we were talking at that Super Bowl party, Connie loves to do vegetarian cooking schools all around Michigan. I said, we've got to make it easier. I started making packets for older adults, and soon I couldn't keep those packets going. Everybody wanted one, and so finally we birthed this wonderful new thing called the Vegetarian Express.
So it's easy. You made it easier for you guys,
Yes.
and now people that are wanting to do the same thing, they've had a little trouble in the past to get everything together and all the work.
Yes.
Now you're going to share it with them.
That's correct. So we finally came up with a great way to do it. Most of our products, you only add 1 or 2 things to them. Some of them you only add water, like our Tuscan burgers. You add water and you get 25 burgers.
Wow.
And our lentil soup, same thing.
Okay.
Water.
All right, Vegetarian Express. Again, it's for people that just want to be healthy, right?
That's correct.
Is it
We have
good
unhealthy
for
people that like it.
unhealthy too?
And
That-
in fact, I'm in a business meeting in the Lansing area, and people get up and tell about my seasonings and how they put it on their pork butts and their
I'm sorry.
salmon. And they go, I know Lori doesn't want to hear this, but it was great with the turkey stuffing and all that. And I'm like, oh, because I'm vegetarian and I don't want to hear about that. But they love our food, and so it's really got a wide appeal.
Is this just for vegetarians, or is there other reasons that people would want to do this? Is it, or just for the people that want to be vegetarian, or is there other health reasons, I guess is what I'm asking?
There are other health reasons because our food has no hydrogenated fat, no refined sugars, and it's very healthy for people that are dealing with heart disease and those kinds of things too.
So
No
that-
MSG, another thing. A lot of allergy people love our food. A lot of people who have kids with problems that they feel that they shouldn't have colorings, food colorings. And there's also a lot of the foods are so easy to make that even their kids can start dinner before they get home.
All right.
Now, I am, one of those people who love to diet.
Ah.
And one of the things that I've noticed is that people who use our seasonings are always saying that they can add a lot of flavor, etc., without all the extra calories. So
They can add a little bit here and there if they want to, if they like it a little bit saltier. Or, that's another interesting part about what you're doing.
when we test it out, half of the people will say it's too salty, half of it will say it's not salty enough. So we figured that when we do 50-50, we're about right, because anyone can add salt, but they can't always take it away.
Ah, there you go.
Another thing that we've done is we make sure that our food is lactose free, so people that are lactose intolerant can easily take any of our products and enjoy them because they don't have to worry about their allergies.
It's another reason for some people to become vegetarian and using these products.
And when we were talking about salt, one of the things that we just did was we increased the cost to us because we wanted to do it well, and that is that we're adding sea salt instead of regular salt. Has more nutrition. There's a lot of things that we do. And our cookies and our waffles, we use sucanat, which has more nutritional value than a pure sugar. And so we want to make sure that we get the most nutrition for whatever we're eating.
Well, you just mentioned about that, costing a little bit more to do it, and from what I understand, you don't really pass that cost along. So you must be doing this to get rich, right?
Well, made it.
Tell us a little bit your reasoning for doing it. Why?
Is to help other people eat healthy and make it easier because we have so many people come up to us and say, man, I'd like to eat healthier or I'd like to eat vegetarian, but it's just so hard. I just can't do it.
And we think a lot of people in America are used to going to delis and their grocery stores and getting all the high fats and lots of MSG, etc. We're trying to make good food healthy and reasonable. We are very serious about making sure that it's reasonable so they can get it to their table at a low cost.
All right.
And so we're kind of mission-oriented, the mission of health.
All right, that's fantastic. Well, I understand also that you're going to prepare a little bit for us to taste today.
Yes, we
Is that
are.
right? Are you ready to go to work?
Anytime.
Anytime. Let's do it now.
Join Bill on a future edition of Michigan Magazine as he continues his visit with Connie and Lori of the Vegetarian Express. The ladies will be whipping up a few quick, delicious dishes, including a honey of a Michigan salad, featuring their Greek island seasoning, utilizing fresh honey, lemon juice, and poppy seeds. Pour that over a bed of spring salad mix with some green onions, pecans roasted in a saucepan, and dried Traverse City cherries, and so good and good for you. Then we top off that with a wonderful Michigan blueberry parfait using tofu, coconut milk, vanilla, and deceivingly good Vegetarian Express cookies. It was hard to believe that what everyone experienced that day was also extremely good for you. Join us again as Bill heads back to the Michigan Magazine Museum kitchen with the Vegetarian Express. Hingeman Acres Canoe Livery and Resort on M33 just north of Mayo, catering to the outdoor enthusiasts. Cabins, canoes, kayaks, rafts, and more. Daytime or overnight trips along the world-famous Asabo River. A family getaway for over 75 years. Experience the beauty, artistry, and taste of northern Michigan. Come to Amish Country Natural Products on Mount Tom Road, north of Mayo, just off M33. From arts and crafts to fresh foods and vegetables, all natural, all local, all good. Stop by. Get acquainted with Amish Country Natural Products, 1454 North Mount Tom Road, Mayo. Thanks for joining us. Until we meet here again, don't forget to keep up with us on all our social media outlets. We're there 24/7, exploring Michigan's back roads. You have a great week, and we'll see you on the next edition of Michigan Magazine. We'd like to thank all those that help keep Michigan Magazine on the road. Cops and Donuts Bakery, downtown Clare, a winning combination. Cops and Donuts. Something special's cooking, hot and delicious. Indulge yourself at Morning at Maggie's in Bay City. Omelets, frittatas, hotcakes, and more. Make every day special with a stop at Morning at Maggie's for breakfast or lunch on Saginaw in Bay City. Rose City Drug, just south of the Rose City city limits at 2640 North M33, featuring a state-of-the-art, completely automated and extremely accurate computer-filled prescription process.
Here at Rose City Drug, we're a family-owned and operated for over 20 years. We offer fast and friendly service, and we always take the extra step to make sure your needs are fulfilled.